The live stream is about to start. My goal here is to improve your health and wellness through a healthy diet, natural remedies, and other solutions that we'll talk about. Please put a Q or a question mark in front of any questions you might have. Sit back and enjoy. Good Thursday evening, everybody. So glad y'all are here with me. I did a little live the other day, and a lot of you jumped on, and so I appreciate that. But I haven't been live in a while since the last Keto Crusade, so it's good to be back. It's good to have a little bit of time to do this, and I appreciate y'all being here. Amy says hello. I'm using some new streaming software tonight, so y'all let me know if you can hear me okay and see me okay, and if that intro came through and all that. My brother Chris is in the house. Chris has got some exciting stuff going on right now. So if y'all keep up with that, he's got a cookbook coming out. He's doing some big things. So yes, Amy, I want to thank you for the laid back attitude. Letting us know over and over it's okay not to be perfect on keto. Absolutely. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. And it's all about, doing as good as you can with what you have. And, like I always say, best ingredients you can afford. And if you do mess up, which everybody's going to, just get right back into it and keep on going. So Lynn is in the house. Thanks, Lynn. It's good to see you tonight. I'm glad to be back. Karen's in the house too from Connecticut. Great. Thank you, Chris. Stan the man. Grand evening. Much love from my family and myself. Stan, I appreciate you being here and hope everything's going well for you. Sherry's also in the house. Yeah, Lynn. Lynn, what happened with this live? It was supposed to be for the channel members. I was doing a little giveaway, and I was experimenting with this software, and luckily, looks like it's working good tonight, but it did not work well initially, so I decided to just do it on YouTube and go live on YouTube. That didn't work at all, so I had to quickly try to pivot, and I don't know what happened. But anyway, we're all here, so if y'all have any questions, make sure you put Q's or question marks in front of them. Donna usually moderates this for me, but she is not here tonight. Her daughter has got a big FFA thing in school, and she's graduating this year. And so tonight's the night that she finds out if she gets the scholarship. So she's not going to be here. So if y'all have any questions, just make sure you leave a Q or a question mark down there so I can check them out. And Diana, hello to you. Marianne, hello to you. Rockin' Keto Amy is in the house. Hello there, Amy. Walking on the treadmill while watching, so my typing might be sketchy. Well, you pull that one off pretty well, so that's awesome. So walking and typing might be your forte. That's good. I couldn't do it, but let's see. Grandview, Washington in the house. Stephanie is here. Good to see you, Stephanie. Stephanie's in the private Facebook group too. So if y'all aren't in there, go in. We're sharing recipes over there. Chris shows up in there from time to time. So we got a good community over there, and it's no keto police. I try my best when I have time to monitor that group so it doesn't get into some of the craziness that some of the other groups get into. And y'all are good about marking the things that are spam or things like that for me too. So, but yeah, it's all about sharing recipes in there, sharing ideas in there, whether they're my recipes, somebody else's recipes, it does not matter. You might be the one that, will provide a recipe that really helps somebody out, something they've been looking for. So one of my neighbors up in the house from Wilkes County. Good to see you tonight. Perry Lynn says, you are too much fun. Your recipes are delish. So that's one thing I want to talk about tonight a little bit too. I want to get through some of these comments, say hey to everybody and all that. But when I started this channel, it was I was wanting to do meal plans. That was my thing. I've got a long history of um, and I put my credentials up at the bottom of the screen now because you know I got a long email from somebody one day about that. Like, well, we don't even know your background. Um, so holistic health practitioner, master herbalist, certified nutritional consultant is what that all means. Although the certified nutritional consultant, I learned most of this stuff on my own. If I was telling you some of the advice that we were teaching people then, you wouldn't want to be here because it wouldn't work. So a lot of those things I picked up on my own. Although I did find out a lot of good things, and that is definitely worth doing. Just like a lot of nutritionists, it's really good, and a lot of the doctors, really, frankly, in the keto and carnivore community, this is those guys they're not teaching you what they learned in medical school. Those things were not taught in medical school, like Dr. Barry, Sean Baker. I mean, there's a ton of them, and they weren't taught those things. These are things they learned through experience, through trials, through doing studies, reading studies, and really figuring out how the body actually works. And trying to keep people off medications instead of giving them medications. And so, the same thing with nutritionists and everything else. If you're stuck in that box, you're gonna be telling people to eat 5 times a day. You're gonna be telling people to have half their plates worth of carbs, and they're gonna get sicker and sicker and sicker. And so, all the education is a great background, but it's really what you do with it from personal experience, coaching other people, hundreds of people that I had personal training and coaching, and so it's like that. But anyway, back to Lynn's point. So the recipes are, to me, they're just fun. So my whole thing, I wanted to do meal plans, and it was called Your Best Body Blueprint, and it was the new standard American diet was what I wanted to call it, because I wanted to make healthy versions of standard American diet foods. And then I realized, well, people don't even know who you are. they don't. That doesn't even make sense. Nobody knows what the new standard American diet is. It sounds like something as unhealthy as a regular standard American diet. And so I kind of had to dial that down and say, okay, well, it's really low carb, and keto is the basis of it. So that's what it kind of became. And I just wanted to have fun, even though some of my earlier videos weren't having that much fun, because I was trying to, be really, I wasn't having much fun because I was trying to keep it calm and, like a straightforward, I don't know. It was just boring to me, and I think it was boring to other people. So anyway, I just want to get in the kitchen, have fun. And I think I got some pretty decent recipes, and I try to make them easy and just use as clean of ingredients as I can. So that's my thing with that. I just want to get in the kitchen, have fun. Those are my fun ones. My informational stuff are serious, or more serious anyway. I still try to have some fun with it, but there's some serious topics out there that you need to learn about. I just try to make those as easy as possible. There's plenty of guys out there doing scientific. You can get as sciencey and nerdy as you want to with some of the other guys. I just try to present it in a way that I can understand, and as simple as I am, if it makes sense to me, the common sense type stuff, hopefully it makes more sense to you. And we don't get into the $10 words and all that. Just trying to break it down to where it makes sense. So, and yep, Donnie is great. Chris, I knew you would be in the kitchen tonight. So yeah, y'all check. Yeah, Chris got some great stuff coming. So those butter bites are awesome. And I'm going to do some more of those. And uh, those things are so easy and so good. And like I said, if a lot of people have trouble getting enough fat in their diet. I hear that a lot, and I'm going to cover that a little bit later on too. I've had a lot of emails from people doing carnivore that aren't doing as well as they want, and one of the keys to that is you got to have enough fat. That's the key. Hormones hormones are key. If you don't have enough fat, your hormones are not going to work right. Your insulin's not going to, it's just not going to be the right response that you want. So you got to make sure you get enough fat. And a lot of people do have trouble with that. So hopefully those butter bites will help. Anyway, Chris says, hey, how's that almost 62,000 subscriber count feel? Chris, it feels amazing, man. And I mean, my first goal was to get 1,000 people. And, I thought if I could change, 1,000 people's lives in a positive way, even if it's just one recipe, that's awesome. And now it's a little bit beyond that. So it does feel great. And I appreciate all y'all for being here and being a part of that. And I couldn't do it without you. Yes, please hit the like button. Everybody's saying hello. Me, when I first started, like I said, the meal plan thing was really important to me. And then the one-on-one aspect of it is not something that's working. And I've got something in the works now that I think is going to be amazing, to where it's not going to be as one-on-one, but it's going to be something that gives you the ability to kind of take control of those things yourself. I can't talk about it yet. It's kind of, I'm in the development stages of it. I'm working with some people to build this thing, and it's going to be a really, really cool thing, I believe. And I think it's going to help a lot. Now I kind of mentioned it on my Keto for Beginners videos, and that's why I did that whole series and why I stopped doing the lives for a little while, because I needed to get that basic information out there to hopefully help with what I'm doing that's coming in the future. So, and I'm going to answer a few questions I've got on that later too. There's a few things that I mentioned in those videos that were really for the future, but I want to address them anyway, so you know kind of what I was talking about there. Sandy, I appreciate you being here tonight. And this is the first night I've streamed on YouTube and Facebook because of this program. So then hopefully I'm going to expand out and maybe stream to another platform too eventually. So hopefully it's coming through okay on Facebook. I don't know how to see how many people are on Facebook, and I'm about to get with Dustin Keto Simple on this because he's mastered this streaming software. And so I'm going to get on and have to talk to him, pick his brain a little bit about that. He's the good technical guy. I'm glad I got that intro to work. So that was cool. And you're very welcome. And I'm so glad it makes it fun for you. Phil says, my hair is looking very sexy today. Well, I appreciate that, Phil. That's what having curly hair and moisture and humidity in the atmosphere does. So that's there you go. Lynn says your recipes are much more than pretty decent. As you put it, your desserts are especially delicious. So thank you, Chris. I know you know what I'm talking about. I know you know. That's right. And some people think you can just eat, fillets all day long, and that's about it. So let's see. All right, Phil. Phil, I do not have OnlyFans, and I'm gonna put you in timeout for a minute for you. Sorry about that, y'all. That's the bad thing about not having a moderator. You never know what's going to happen in here. So, Sherry, growing by leaps and bounds. I'm having trouble keeping up with welcomes in the private Facebook group. I'm gonna go ahead and block Phil Ashio. So sorry about that, guys. Karen, thank you so much. And I kind of put all those videos together too, as one long series for you. So, and great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, let's see. All right. Your real mac and cheese recipe looks like the real deal. Which pasta do you prefer? I saw you cook with one, then later talk about another brand. So initially, when I first did that, the video with the mac and cheese, it was the Great Low Carb Bread Company. And I've had a lot of people that had problems with that as far as blood sugar issues and things like that. So I still like that. I think that was a great pasta. But now I'm using the Kaizen. Kaizen's got a couple of different ones. And it uses lupini beans, but the one I like to use is the one that's got the green. It's like a yellow package, but it's got green writing on it. And so basically, that's the lower carb version. I think it's like 2 grams of net carbs, and so it's just something you'll have to experiment with as far as your blood sugar. If you got type 2 diabetes or anything like that, it's just something you'll have to see if it works for you. It doesn't bother me, but I'm not type 2 diabetic. Pretty metabolically healthy now. So, although I haven't always been, I was in really, really bad shape, and you can go back and see some other videos where I talk about that story. But so it works fine for me, but that's just something you'll have to test for yourself. I've had a couple people say that the Kaizen does kind of spike their blood sugar, but that's the one I'm currently using, more so than that Great Low Carb Bread Company. It's less expensive. And I think I think it tastes really good. I think the texture is good as long as you don't overcook it. If you do, it's got, if you overcook any pastas like that, I mean, the texture is just going to be off a little bit, but I think that is the best one I've found so far to date. So, I'm also doing a giveaway tonight. So y'all stick around for that. I'm going to ask a couple questions about some of my old videos, and the winners are going to get. I'll go into the giveaway here in just a little bit. Sherry in the house, recently loving your recipes. Thank you. So I'm not sure what's going on here. I think I've blocked this dude, but if y'all are still seeing some crazy comments, let me know. But I think I've blocked him. I think I can still see the comments, but nobody else can. So, let's see. Great to see all our favorite keto, low carb, carnivore cooks coming together to make the healthy eating world easier and more delicious. Absolutely. And there's, like we always talk about, there's, the low carb diet or the proper human diet. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, and a lot of things work for some people, don't work for other people. So it's all about kind of experimenting with yourself as a guinea pig, seeing what works for you. And let's see. Y'all, I'm sorry. I am trying my best. I'm trying my best to block them. I've hit block 30 times. So, oh, hang on. Do you think you'll do a video on keto pancakes as well as keto coffee creamer in the future? Actually, I've got something coming up pretty soon. It's a waffle, but you could definitely use it as a pancake. Also, the chaffle recipe that I do, you could use as a pancake too. And as far as the creamers, really the best. I've thought about trying to do some flavored ones, but to me, it's heavy cream, and if you're going to use any sweetener, you can. I don't use personally anything in the mornings. Now, I'll drink some black coffee in the morning. Sometimes I'll put in a little bit of cacao bliss or some of the Relight chocolate electrolytes or something like that. But so possibly a coffee creamer, but definitely some pancakes, or use a chaffle recipe for pancakes too. Anyone tried Unbelievable blends? I have not, but anybody, y'all weigh in if you have. I like a good flavored coffee creamer, easy version too. Let's see. New subscriber from the UK. Well, welcome. I appreciate you being here. Just started following you on YouTube. Just want to thank you for recreating those Southern dishes to fit in with the keto diet. They look delicious. I am so excited to try some of them because I'm sure I've missed some of those dishes. Yeah, I can't even tell you how many I've gotten. So, y'all, hang on, bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna go in and yeah, my moderator's not here tonight, so I'm gonna go in. Y'all, bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna try to go on. One second here, guys. Okay, I think we're good now. Y'all, I apologize. I need to get another moderator for this, obviously. Let's see. Just started following you on YouTube, so I just read that one. But yeah, you've probably missed a bunch. I've got a ton of videos out there, so just check them out. And they go way back, and got a lot of good Southern stuff. And Barbara says hello. Hey, Brenda. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Sandy says, really appreciate all the time you invest in sharing what you have learned about this way of living. Well, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'm glad I can help. Crepes with almond flour. Yeah, I haven't tried crepes. I'm sure I could do something like that eventually, but I know the technique of that is not something, I mean, if y'all have seen me in the kitchen, you know that the technique of doing the crepes is not easy. And the way I am in the kitchen, the way I throw stuff around, I don't know if I'd be able to pull that off or not. So Chris is the one with the technique. So y'all hit him up about that. I think he actually did some one time, but I've been using a liquid humectus, prefer that in the most sweeteners. Sherry says, Chris, I received my butter powder today. Make all the breakfast food we miss, pancakes, crepes, etc. Couldn't find the yellow and green boxes of Kaizen, but I did find the pasta fusilli 2 net carb box. Sherry, that's great. What is the first recipe? With the butter powder, I guess. Yeah, crochet rocks. Some of the ingredients you can't get in the UK. I found that a lot. Canada's the same way. Allulose is the big thing I found in Canada and some of the other countries that they don't do allulose. So, but just, yeah, any of my recipes like that, just use whatever sweetener you like. It's going to work fine. The ice cream recipe that I do does really need allulose because that kind of helps keep it softer. And uh, so, the other sweeteners are going to work. It's just, when you put it in the freezer, it may not stay like a soft serve consistency. So that's the only difference. Allulose just helps with that. But most of the time I use a blend anyway. So just, just use a blend of whatever you like. So Sherry, where do you find your inspiration for the recipes? That's a great question, Sherry. I mean, a lot of them, at least initially, were kind of old family recipes that I adapted to keto because I wanted to still have those foods. And then I kind of branched out a little bit to recipe type stuff like Alice Springs chicken and restaurant foods that I liked that weren't the healthiest that I wanted to make healthier. Um, and then just looking around, and I mean, I've eaten every kind of food in the world. I mean, I've tried every diet in the world. That's why when I tell you about low carb, you know, I've tried everything. I've tried vegan, vegetarian, uh, South Beach diet, Maker's diet. I mean, just about everything. Well, I can say I've never tried the raw fruit diet or raw foods, but I just knew that wasn't going to work anyway. But um, so really from anywhere, um, I'll look around. I mean, I've watched a lot of Food Network for years. I always like that. So, sometimes they'll have things on there that, um, give me inspiration too. I'm like, oh, well, let me try to make a keto version of that. And as well as other, keto and creators from the past that maybe I'll try to make the recipes a little better, like the chaffle video. I tried to make one that was more like bread instead of crunchy. I did the pizza doughs, the fathead doughs, things like that. Just try to make them a little better. So really, I can get inspiration from anywhere. Sometimes I'll wake up at night like, oh, maybe I should try this. So I need a really easy, yummy pancake recipe. I would try my chaffle recipe too as a pancake. So you can do that. Oh, Chris says, I've got some crepes. Let's talk. Maybe a collab. Hey, anytime. But you have to teach me the technique about the crepes. So anyway, um, that might be something that you'll have to teach me that technique on there. So Dustin in the house. Hey, happy Thursday to you, Dustin. Thank you for your super chat. Yeah, I'm glad to be back live. Uh, Although I need a moderator, apparently. So uh, anyway, Donna's not here tonight, and of course, this is the first night I got some craziness going on. But anyway, happy Thursday to you. Let's see. Yeah, so Chris, tell me what you're doing with the butter powder because I haven't even been able to watch any of your videos in a while. So that was always my kind of like my entertainment. But as busy as I've been lately with a lot of stuff I'm working on, and you know, running a couple businesses, and this this YouTube it's been crazy. So I'm way behind on my YouTube watching. And Brenda is in the house from Kentucky. Hey there, Brenda. Pinky Jojo, hey all, I'm moving back keto from carnivore. It got boring, so I'm glad to be here. Not many doing keto content anymore, and you're very down to earth. Well, thank you. Um, yeah, I love keto. Keto is sustainable. There's been more studies done, and you know, and there's different. Like I said, there's different ways of keto. I mean, some people do more carnivore. Some people do more easier or dirtier keto, and that might work for them. I personally will do some of the processed stuff every once in a while, but for the most part, I don't. I kind of stay away from stuff like that. But um, Yeah, to me, it's just super sustainable, and that's why I've started making all these foods that make it easier for you to stick to keto and low carb, and it's another reason I don't do macros on my recipes, because if it's something that you're watching really, really closely, you need to put in your exact ingredients. You need to measure everything. You need to figure out your serving sizes. Don't take my word for it, because I can assure you, I've tried some other people's recipes, and I'm like, just looking at it, I'm like, I don't think that carb count's right. And sure enough, if you plug it in, a lot of them are not right. So, I will advise anybody to download Carb Manager, Chronometer, one of those, put all your exact ingredients that you're going to use in there. And so anytime you want to try a recipe, you can go and put your ingredients in there and get the exacts. If you got to be that close, don't take my word for it or anybody else's. Don't take your health into somebody else's hands. You do the little bit of work that it takes to do it, and you'll get the benefits from it. But yeah, super super sustainable. So Long Island, which do you find more useful, granulated allulose or liquid? I prefer to not have to purchase both. Um, to me, because I do a lot of baking, and so I use the granulated, because I put it in my blend, which is erythritol, stevia, and allulose, or I use allulose just by itself, which I've done on a couple recipes, including one that's coming out Saturday that I hope y'all will love. It's something I haven't seen anybody else do before. And so that's coming Saturday, but I just use allulose in that because of the health benefits, the blood sugar lowering qualities of it. But a lot of times I don't, I'll do the erythritol stevia. I did a video about how I blend that all together. So that's what I use. And I use uh, either granulated or powder it by itself too. So have you always liked to cook? Well, not when I was a teenager per se, but I will say when I would come home, kind of late, I would like to, kind of make up stuff in the kitchen. But I've always been around cooking. Um, my nana or my grandmother, she cooked, so I picked up a lot of stuff from her. Um, but as far as me loving to cook, it really kind of started. I've always done little things, but not really to that extent until I was probably 18 or 19, and started cooking my own meals. And so I learned a lot from cooking, just remembering back and following some of my grandmother's recipes, and then just learning from that. And then, I mean, I learned a lot from Food Network. I mean, back then there were some great shows, Mario Batali and Emerald, and there was a ton of, and they all kind of taught. I think that's how I picked up. People say on my videos I talk too much on the on the recipes, but that's the way I learned. I mean, if somebody were to jump right in and had never cooked anything before, I want to be able to explain it in a way that you can go and follow it. And there's certain little things that I do for reasons, and for a certain reason, I like to explain it. So I guess I kind of go through the recipes the way that I learned from some of those, Food Network people and some of those old shows. And I really developed a love for cooking, in my early 20s. So, I mean, that was a long time ago now. That's 30 years ago now, almost. So, but yeah, I developed that out of necessity for the most part, because I couldn't afford to, back then, to go out and eat every day. So, um, so that's kind of where that all started. Had chaffle pizza tonight for dinner. Yummy. That does sound yummy. Hey, Chris, I would. I don't know how to do it. I've hit block about 15 times, but for some reason something's not going through. Yeah, you can do anything with chaffles. That's a fact. You can make you can make so many things with that. Hey, if y'all will tell me how to, let's see. If y'all will tell me how to moderate or make you a moderator real quick, I'll do it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom here. Phil, if you love me, then you need to cut it out, man. All right, I'm gonna pull it up on my phone real quick, guys. I apologize for this. Let's see. All right. Cool. Dustin, Chris, I think y'all Phil, I appreciate it, man, but don't come on my live talking. Yeah, don't come on here like that, man. I'm trying to help people and we don't need that. So y'all go ahead and boot them. Phil, we'll try again next time when you can grow up just a little bit. Let's see. So butter powder in my carnivore corn dogs, biscuits, and a few other things lately. Lots of fried stuff. Oh yeah, I saw the corn dog. I want to watch that too. Let's see. My husband says the best way to make crepes is with a cast iron skillet. Well, I've definitely got some cast iron skillets, so I'll do that. Dustin, you're working too hard tonight, man. You're working too hard. Stephanie, good question. How do you feel about the pasta made from heart of palm? I like it. I've tried several different ones. I like to rinse it first, and you know, I think it's fine. You know, it's not pasta like I think the Kaizen and things like that are, but it's great. I mean, you know, you mix some of that in with pasta sauce or whatever you want. I think it's fine. I do more carnivore keto and have great success. Awesome, Amy. Yeah, you're doing great. Just have to figure out how to do keto while dining out without getting bored. That is tough. Crackers too. Oh yeah. Yep. So yeah, so Chris did do those the Ritz crackers with the butter powder. I did see that one. When I stray from keto, my old symptoms return. Keto works. Absolutely. Chris, you're getting some love in here tonight. I love it. I love it. Perry I am a fan of berberine. I think berberine is great. I did a video about that on some of the supplements that you may want to use or some of the herbs you may want to use. I've done a couple videos on that where I kind of talk extensively about berberine. So I'm a fan of it, and I think it's really good. Yep, monk fruit is great also. And a lot of the monk fruits are not pure monk fruit. I'm sure some of you guys know that, but most of them, because it's like stevia. You know, in the raw, it's like 200 times sweeter than sugar. So a lot of times they'll blend it with something else because I mean you can use a tiny bit, and you know if you dump a teaspoon of that in something, you're gonna know something. So most of the brands are blends of that. So just be aware of that. Just check the ingredients. Some of them are maltodextrin. So just kind of be cautious of what you're getting. Just read the ingredients on it. And you can get the pure extract too. You could substitute that for the stevia in my blend too. Melted down 100% pure chocolate, added powdered allulose, put into molds. It's perfection. Yeah, I need to get into making some of my own chocolate too. How many carbs do you eat in a day? Does our body go out of ketosis above 100 grams of carbs? Angel, that's kind of an individual thing. For me personally, I'm probably these days, I mean, it varies. I kind of go in and out. I mean, some days I'm probably around 15 to 20. Some days I'm probably around 60 to 70. And to me, the ultimate goal is not to be in ketosis forever. The goal is to kind of fix your metabolism so you can switch between burning sugars and burning fats for fuel. Your body above 100 carbs, I would say probably you're going to be out of ketosis. Although, that is an individual thing. It depends on how your metabolism is, but I would say above 100, you're going to be out. I would say 60 to 70 is about probably the max you would want to go. Let's see. Dustin learned how to cook from great grandma when he was little. I cook eggs and bacon in the morning. And that's something you never forget, being with grandma in the kitchen. That's for sure. I make killer pimento cheese today from Ashe County, North Carolina. Cheese and your mayonnaise. Yep, pimento cheese that's an awesome thing. That's a condiment down here. So Sandy, I am not yet, but I will be next year. I'll be 50 next year. So I say almost 30 years ago, not quite 30 years ago. Thank you so much, Brenda. Chad, you could really do a big Belgian waffle maker and just run them all together. Like the one I've got in my video, you can make a huge chaffle and do it like that if you want to. Or the even the mini one I think would work if you get them all close enough together. Oh, Christy, you may have come up with something that I have never heard of. I'm gonna have to look at that. Wacky cake. It sounds like something that I would like for sure. So chaffles traditionally are cheese and eggs. So cheese waffles. But the one that I made that's kind of like bread, and if y'all saw Wes's video from High Falutin Low Carb, he tried that recipe. I added some other ingredients into it to make it more like a bread. So no, I definitely have carbs. Yeah, I don't zero carb. Do you do a lot of food prep for the week for you and your wife? Asking for your viewers too. I really don't do a lot of food prep. Really, our meals, other than the recipes that I do, they're very simple. I mean, tonight before the live, I had a salad. I make a blue cheese dressing just about every week with my Duke's 2.0 mayonnaise recipe. And so salad, had some fresh cucumbers. We got up in the mountains this past weekend. We went to the mountains and I did some hiking and stuff. And on the way back, we got some fresh cucumbers, some heirloom tomatoes, which they came from Florida. They weren't from up in the mountains because tomatoes are not growing here right now. But they were great. And some fresh strawberries. So a little bit of that on the salad, blue cheese, just did some burger patties. And that was it tonight. So we really don't do a lot of meal prep per se, but just simple stuff like that. And, I kind of mix it up. I think once you kind of fix your metabolism, I like to mix it up. So some days I might do one meal a day. Some days I'll do two. So it just depends on how I feel. Some days I'm like, well, I don't even really need to eat today. And you kind of get to a point where, if your metabolism gets efficient, you don't want it to be, a lot of people say, well, I wish my metabolism was fast like that. You don't want really a fast metabolism. You want it to be efficient. You want it to be able to use ketones for fuel. You want to be able to use sugar. That's kind of how, hundreds of years ago people were. Like if they could find honey, they'd eat some and they'd be fine. And then they found meat, they'd eat some. If they couldn't find meat, they'd eat some plants or whatever. So, just kind of listen to your body at that point. And I think your body really likes to not get in a certain routine. For a long time, it was 3 meals a day. And if you're first starting keto and you've been used to eating and taking that old advice, eating 5-6 meals a day, you need to eat 3 and just don't snack in between. And then maybe you move to 2 because, intermittent fasting is great. But if your metabolism is still messed up from that eating 5 or 6 times a day and the insulin going up and that's just really has messed up your metabolism, you kind of need to heal that and let your body catch up and do 3 meals a day. And then that's working for you. And then, maybe then push that window out, like I talk about, an hour or so every day. Push that breakfast back from 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, and then skipping all the way to lunch. And then you might be able to do 1 meal a day sometimes, but I wouldn't recommend that all the time either, because, once your body gets used to it, I think it tries to, store away some fat, just in case you're only getting 1 meal a day or whatever it is. So I would go there, but, so yeah, meal prep, we don't do a lot of, but we do a lot of simple stuff like that. And of course we eat all the recipes I do, but the days we're not doing those or testing those, then that's what it is. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy that, Nancy. That's one of my favorites. Chris, thank you. I did pull it up on my phone, so I guess I just need to leave y'all as permanent moderators and and try to find another one too, in addition to Donna. And I told her, she's like, well, I can't be on there tonight. And I'm like, look, you got something way more important going on, than that. So don't worry about it. So, anyway, your brookies and the sugar-free mounds are delicious. Well, awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed both of them. Yeah. The new egg white miracle noodles. I haven't even seen what the price is on them, but I saw I get all the ads that pop up on, when I go on Facebook to answer comments and stuff, it's all like keto ads or health and wellness ads and things like that. So I saw where they have them, and I do want to try them because I think they'll be really good. So a good egg white noodle in a package, I'm in on that. As long as they don't change the ingredients eventually, which a lot of them do. Let's see. Very little carbs will kick me out. It's tough, but over time I figured out what works. Yep. So a lot of questions about berberine. So go back and look at the video. I think was called the herbs you may need to support your keto diet. And I don't think berberine is something to take for a long period of time, but for short term, I think it's really good for blood, especially when you're starting keto. If you've got really bad blood sugar issues and things like that, I think it's really good. And matter of fact, let me grab this real quick. Now this is an older book and I mentioned this on the video too, but listen, if you're gonna take any kind of herbal supplements, pick this book up. I've got a link to it in that video. But just because you can buy it at the vitamin shop doesn't mean it's good for you, and doesn't mean it's going to play well with some of your medications. So pick this book up. I have discussions with people a lot in the private group about interactions, because turmeric's great, but if you're on blood thinners, it ain't great. And there's a lot of interactions like that that you'd never think about, because you think, well, if I can buy this at Walmart, surely it's okay. But it's really not. Supplements are not regulated by the FDA. Not that the FDA is the be all end all of healthy stuff, because look at some of the drugs on the market right now. But just saying, they don't regulate any of that, and so there's no, it's kind of like the Wild West. There's just no regulation on it, as long as you've got the disclaimer on it that's not regulated by the FDA, and it's a supplement. Then you're good. And it's very important when you're buying supplements also to look at the company. Don't buy the cheapest ones out there. A lot of them now have traceability on them, so you can scan a QR code on them. It'll tell you exactly where the herb was grown, for example, has the crop number, the lot number, and all things like that. So, it's very important to research the companies too. And in that video, I gave you a couple of options of the ones I like too. So let's see. So yeah, there's a few different things, and I mentioned that in that video too. Dr. Davis, El Rudo, our yogurt just did a video about how hyperbic food. Yeah, you don't want to take it for too long. It's kind of a shorter term thing that you want to do. So, yep, I agree. I agree with him on that. Yep, Amy, that is quite possible. And if you're, you don't necessarily want to stay in ketosis forever. And in fact, if you stay on keto for a long time, you may not even measure. If you're using Keto Mojo or something like that, your ketones might not even measure anymore, because your body's using the ketones so efficiently for fuel. You may be, I think the 0.5 millimoles is the low end of what you want to be. You may be below that if you're on it long enough. So, so the goal is not to stay in ketosis forever. The goal is to get healthier by using that as a tool to get there. And just stay in lower carb. To me, that's the key. Thank you, Angel. I appreciate that. Sure, I feel same age as my daughter. Well, thank y'all. Ooh. Hey, Dustin, absolutely. Yeah, share. Yeah, I actually wanted to make your recipe. We talked about that one night, and so yeah, definitely. Yeah, y'all share that. Yeah, you and Chris are always welcome to share anything on these lives. I'm hopefully going to do more of them. I say that I'm gonna be gone next week, so I'm not gonna be able to do a live next week. But I've already got a video ready to go. I've been working on a lot of things, and one thing this week is trying to get ahead on videos, because I'm not going to be here next week. But anyway, I'm going to try to do these more regularly with some more moderators. So appreciate you guys helping me with that too. Fluctuate from 30 to 40 carbs each day. I do ketone meter, runs 0.7, 0.8. Yes. Yeah. 0.5 is, and like I said, like I just mentioned, if you're on it for a long time, you may be under, you may not even read it, but you'll know by how you feel once you're on it for a while. It's just kind of like counting carbs. I mean, a lot of people will count carbs in the beginning, And it's good for a lot of people to do that until you know what works for you, and then you just kind of find that way of eating, and you just keep it up. Yeah, y'all definitely follow Keto Simple. He's got some great recipes. He hasn't done any recipes in a while, and he needs to because he's got some good stuff out there. So yeah, y'all make sure to follow Keto Simple. Chris, the three of us are together on these keto crusades. Which, by the way, May the 4th, May the 4th be with you, and be with us on the Keto Crusade on May the 4th. So that's going to be our next one. We try to get it in this month, but our schedules are just crazy right now. So we're going to be doing that. Soft chocolate is awesome. Making yet again tonight for my burger. Well, I appreciate it. I thought that was a good recipe. So I'd been working to make one like that, and I think I pulled it off. So a lot of people have been real happy with that, and I appreciate it. Love your dry sense of humor. Hope your family appreciates it too. I think sometimes they want to throw me out, but it's never boring around here. I can tell you that much. So, Victor has the best burger chaffle I've tried. I appreciate that. Amy, that is a great question. How do you know when you fixed your metabolism? I think more than anything, it's if, and it depends on what kind of metabolic issues you've got going on. But once you're able to switch fuels, if you want to, and I don't do it often, but like, when I started back, and I've been doing this now for a couple years, I would do like a cheat meal. Okay. And so we'd go to a restaurant, I would do a cheat meal, and I felt like crap for a few days. So if we're specifically talking about that, once you can have that one cheat meal every once in a while, and I don't suggest anybody do it, but I'm just saying, if you can do that and you don't feel awful, I think that's one way to tell. If you reach your goal weight that you want to get to, and you're, like I was talking about earlier, some days you may go and you just don't want to eat. You may if you ended up counting your calories, you might be at 1,100 calories, where one day you might have been at 2,500, but your weight doesn't change. That's when you've got an efficient metabolism. And it's like I'm talking about. See, I do physical work during the day. So I had 2 jobs today, went and did those, had to come home, cut grass, and then, got this, and I wasn't even hungry. And so we ate tonight, but I didn't have anything else, the rest of the day. So tomorrow for lunch, I might have a keto chow or something like that if I have time. And then dinner tomorrow night. So, I think when it comes to at least like a weight loss standpoint, I mean, that's the easiest way I can talk about it, because there's a lot of other metabolic things going on that can happen to you. But at least from that standpoint, if you're able to maintain your weight, and some days you're hungry and you listen to your body, some days you may go and not be hungry, and you kind of get to where you're where you want to be, and that stays balanced, then to me, that's fixing metabolism. Yep. It is not for everybody. But like I said, if you get to that efficiency, then sometimes you're just going to find, like, man, I am really not hungry. And, that's your metabolism being efficient. And, that's going back to the ancestor thing of, they may have had to go, 5-6 days without food. And, some people can't even imagine that. Well, I mean, the longest fast anybody's done was over a year with just water. And which, I wouldn't recommend that. A water fast or even a dry fast for like 1 day is equal to about 3 days of wet fasting, which is just water. But, doing a 3-day water fast is very beneficial. I mean, you've got um, something called autophagy that happens where your cells are just repairing themselves, um, and that's brought on by the fasting like that. It's also brought on by exercise and different things. So, Chad, that is a great question, and so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this giveaway. So down in the description too, I have put links to this, and so Performance Gains. This is a pre-workout. Now, even if you don't work out, which I don't work out per se in the gym right now. I do a lot of outdoor stuff. I do a lot of hiking, just things that I enjoy. Probably gonna get back to some weight training eventually, but this stuff is great as a coffee alternative. This does not have any caffeine in it. It's the True Endurance brand. And I really like this brand for several reasons. Number one, the ingredients in it, there's no caffeine. So, Chad, I'm getting to your question in a minute, but it has to do with this because this is one of the questions I'm going to ask. So, basically, with this, a lot of the pre-workout drinks that you find have branched chain amino acids, maltodextrin, because if you're working out really, really, really hard, the bodybuilder guys, I mean, they're eating maltodextrin. They're shooting insulin. I mean, to become anabolic, which is like a building stage to try to build muscle, build mass. They're doing the branched chain amino acids. Well, branched chain amino acids on keto aren't the best thing for you. They'll kick you out of ketosis. So you don't want to do a branched chain amino acid supplement before you work out. So this has got some good stuff in it, good ingredients. And even if you don't work out, like I said, it's a good coffee replacement if you're not looking for caffeine. So anyway, True Endurance is going to give away one of these to somebody. And the first person that can answer in the comments what is the first video that I ever talked about the yellow bowl, I'm going to get you one of these. And so all you'll do is when you put that in the comments, just message me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Give me your name and address, and I'll have one of these shipped out to you. So, but awesome ingredients. I mean, you got some mushroom complex in here. So just some super good, clean ingredients. No sugar, uses stevia. So it's a really great pre-workout drink. So I'm going to scroll down and see if I can find. Let's see. Nope, nobody's got it yet. So, yeah, so I'll scroll down through these comments and find the first video where I talked about, it was the whole story of Old Yeller. So, let's see. I'm going to do that. And then I've got another thing to give away later on too. Also from True Endurance. I mean, this is a great brand. If you do work out, this is what I would recommend for you because the ingredients on it are killer, and you don't have the caffeine, which I don't like the feeling of caffeine when I'm working out. Some people need it to wake up, I guess, but the best thing for me was to get up first thing in the morning and hit it, and that will get you going without the caffeine. Let's see. A lot of Old Yeller comments. Well, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. I eat in a 6-hour window. Yes. And one of the big things about keto and just in general, is don't snack between meals. Every time you eat, even if it's not food, okay, even if it's even if it's the coffee with some cream in it, your insulin's going up, and you want to really fix that insulin to where the insulin's only rising. Even if something doesn't affect your blood sugar, it can affect your insulin. So like even my Zevia drinks now, I only have them with meals. In between meals, I'll do like a sparkling water or something like that that doesn't have any sweeteners in it. Um, and even the desserts, we'll do like, and I'll do snacks, I'll do appetizers, meal, but it's all in that time period. So for me, I mean, most of the time it's like 3 hours. If I'm only doing one meal, or six is probably about it for me. Um, but it just kind of depends on what you're trying to do. But 8 hours ideally at the longest, for the best benefits. Old Yeller just got his name from the Old Yeller, the movie. Um, Matter of fact, uh, I think I just started calling it that one day, but the old dog movie or book really, but then it was a movie, so that's just I just named it because it was Yeller. So, but the story behind it is a little different. But seen a lot of people getting diagnosed with hyperthyroidism, getting put on medication. Yeah, that is a problem. Wish we all got those products here. I'd love to try the egg white noodles. The cognac noodles are too chewy for me. The worst thing about those cognac noodles for me are the smell of them. People have said there's some that don't smell, but they're to me they're just super fishy and just just weird. But I do like the heart of palm. I think the heart of palm is pretty good. Let's see. Thanks for giving your opinion on OMAD. I've been doing that since September. And I feel like I've been struggling a bit lately to continue. Hopefully, don't gain weight if I open up a bigger window. And you shouldn't. I don't know how. I don't know if you've been gaining weight doing OMAD, but yeah, just kind of play around with it. I think your body really likes change, and I think it responds well to it. So, um, yeah, I wouldn't continue that on a ongoing basis, because eventually I think your body is just gonna, it's gonna want to store up some things because you're not getting enough. Most people can't get enough nutrition in one meal a day, and your body knows. Your body's really smart. So let's see. Hey, from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then free up my window on weekends so my body doesn't get too used to it. Yes, that's a great thing to do. Mix it up. Calorie counting is not my thing. I know for sure OMAD puts me in deficit. Yeah, it will. And the bad thing, calories do count, okay, but calories are not the be all end all. I mean, you can just so take 500 calories of beef and 500 calories of brownies, and tell me calories are calories. They're not. They affect your hormones differently. They affect your body differently. Um, and I don't think you necessarily need to count calories. The bad thing about being in a deficit, and the reason why eat less and move more doesn't work, is, and look, I've had, when I did personal training, I mean, we had so many people, and so many people wanted to do that. We use an old bodybuilder's diet as what we would put people on, which is how I started low carb in the first place. But the calories in, the move more, eat less thing. So we had a lot of people that tried that. So so they're eating 2,200 calories a day. You put them on 2,000. Works great. Okay, they lost a little bit. Stops working. So you go to 1,800. Oh, Okay, lose weight, stops working. Then you go down to 1,500, and and that doesn't end. You can be at 700 calories and not lose weight. Well, then that's because your body's metabolism is all screwed up. Your body thinks it's starving to death. It's going to hold everything it can of those 700 calories for later because it needs it. It's starving. All right. One of the craziest things to ever tell people, and when I started this Best Body Blueprint thing, I had a lady that I was coaching, and I was giving her meal plans every week, and she was, I could tell, I mean, she was at 1,000 calories a day, and she was working out, and I'm like, you got to up your calories. Your metabolism is not going to fix itself eating this little amount of food. That's no different than what I'm talking about, eating 5-6 times a day in calorie deficit, and your insulin's going up, and your blood sugar's crazy. The hardest thing to do is tell somebody that's been taught all their lives to eat less food and exercise it all off so you can burn more. Tell them to eat more calories, but they did, and it works. And that's, for some people, that's what it takes. And every body is different, and that's the wild thing about it. But you can tell if somebody's been yo-yo dieting all their life. And, y'all let me know. Have you tried eating less, cutting your calories, and it works for a while, and then all of a sudden you gain the weight back plus some? It just, your body needs flexibility, and it needs to be able to fix your metabolism by, unfortunately, probably for some people, eating a lot more calories than what you think you need until that can fix itself. Then you can get back to normal and become adapted to fat first. And, that's another story for a different day. But Wacky Cake uses no eggs, but vinegar, butter, water, and baking soda. A childhood favorite along with mayonnaise cake from my grandmother that I miss. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to check that out because I have not heard of that. I feel like I'm missing out now. I thought I've had about every food, but obviously not. So congratulations, Chris. There you go, Iris. I try to do carnivore, but end up ketovore anyway. So that tells me that your body's wanting a little bit more carbs. And so that's what you should do. Listen to what your body's telling you. And Dustin has put his Wonder Bread chaffle video in here. And hey, if y'all try these recipes of Dustin, tell Dustin if you want him to make some more recipes. I think he needs to, because I'm telling you, he's got some good looking stuff. I scared my doctors when I had a bleed in my right eye. Yeah, what was it? Carrie is in the house. Hey, Carrie, I'm a little behind on comments. Looks like I am 17 minutes behind. So, we'll fast forward here. Nancy, if somebody hasn't said it yet, check out Chris Cook in Nashville. He's got a Ritz cracker recipe, and there's no need in me trying to make one because I would just use his if I want some Ritz crackers. So, Tracy says, I am so grateful for all the wonderful recipe creators here. Y'all been a true inspiration for me. Down 31 pounds. That is awesome. Y'all help me stay motivated. Thank you. Well, thank you for watching. I'm so glad I can help. And I know, Chris and Dustin feel the exact same way. I mean, we do this because we want to help. We want to spread this message of health and wellness and food and, all the good things. And, I've been bringing a lot more wellness type content to the channel too. But like I say, I'm going to keep doing the recipes, call it whatever you want, keto, low carb, the new standard American diet. It's healthier versions of, standard American stuff and recipes that a lot of us have grown up eating, and we do this because we want to make people healthier, help you get healthy, and you know that's why I do it. That's why I spend you know time, money, and and love on what I'm doing here, because you know comments like this is exactly why I want to do what I do. And early on, I was going to have a wellness clinic. This has been 25 years ago. I want to open a wellness clinic. I was going to have a chiropractor in there. I was going to do the herbalism because I studied that and holistic health, um, personal training, everything like that. And then life happened. I was never able to do that. But I feel like now, I can share this with a whole lot more people than what I could have shared it with if I had 10 people a day coming in. I could spend an hour with them, helping them out. I feel like with this, I can help, as many people as need it. Or, some people watch some videos of mine and some, watch just the recipes. Some people like the health and wellness stuff. So I feel like it's really a great platform that, we can help a lot more people, achieve optimal health, weight loss, or whatever it is. Hey, I appreciate you being here. You may already be gone now, but listen, I appreciate you watching. Delilah, hello, hello. So blood vessel in my eye burst. Luckily, it stopped bleeding before I got to the eye doctor, so I didn't go blind. That is a scary thing. Well, I'm glad you got that. Glad you got that fixed. Oh, there we go. Let's talk about that earlier. The longest recorded fast, 382 days. So, if you think you can't do a 3-day water fast, check this out. 382 days achieved by Angus Barbieri, a Scottish man between June 1965 and July 1966. He consumed only water, tea, coffee, and vitamins. So, and he lost 276 pounds during the fast. So that's amazing. So 21 days of water and unflavored electrolytes. Yeah, I've done a fast, which I don't recommend anybody doing, but it was a month. But it was the apple cider vinegar fast, and it was like I said, I don't recommend that one to anybody. I would do like a 3-day water fast now. Maybe I'd try a 21-day again at some point if I needed it. But it was apple cider vinegar, cayenne pepper, maple syrup, and lemons and water, and it was something. But if you're fasting after the first couple of days, I mean, the energy you have is amazing, and you just kind of stop being hungry after a while. I could have gone longer because I really wasn't hungry. My wife kept saying, like, you need to eat something. I'm like, but I'm really not hungry. So I'm gonna probably try to do a water fast at some point this year. And Amy, I think 72 hours is perfect for a lot of people. And if you do a 24-hour dry fast, so you don't even have water, you don't have any kind of liquids, and y'all, this is not medical advice. Please check with your doctor or a medical professional before you attempt any of this stuff that I'm talking about. But a 1-day dry fast is the equivalent of a 3-day wet fast, which is just water. Like Dustin was saying, the guy did tea and coffee and all that, but just do water if you're going to do it. But yeah, if you can go 1 day for 24 hours, that's the equivalent health wise as doing 3 days. So Delilah, you got some good benefits out of that 37 hours though. You had some you had some cells healing themselves. Metabolism probably helped, as long as you're, and another thing I'd say about fasting is I wouldn't try any until you're kind of adapted to fat. Because it may kind of backfire on you. If you're eating a standard American diet and you try intermittent fasting, it probably ain't gonna work for you. There's some things in your body that need to heal, and you need to have your body burning its own fat for fuel when you go into that. if you're used to having carbs and you go into it, it's not going to work for you most likely. Well, hey, Janine. Debating 2 rotisserie chickens, or is it de-meating? Hey, rotisserie chickens are, talk about meal prep. That's an easy. My wife loves those things, and they're probably covered in seed oils and stuff too. But if you need an easy meal, we do that. We'll do that. Probably need to just cook them myself just to avoid whatever they put on them. But normally we take the skin off of them because that's where most of that's gonna live anyway. So the meat's probably good. They don't like the skin. I'll eat the skin, but I don't eat the skin on the rotisserie chickens because she usually cuts up all the meat, and I just have to eat them, like candy. I have a red candy dish. It was my grandmother's. That's awesome. All right, so Lori knows part of it, but what video is that from? That's right. That's right. Good night. Paula, thank you so much. Lemon character taking his sunglasses off and raising his arm to greet someone, imitated by Baby Lemon. Well, I was wondering if you were talking to the chickens and trying to figure out which one to eat tonight. No, it wasn't the 90s. Let's see. A few weeks ago, I told you I was fasting for a couple of days. You told me to drink the ginger water, 2 inches to about a quart, and it works awesome. Brings up all the gas. Yep. That's a little hack right there. Yeah, Old Yeller was pretty sad there. Was not the Dukes. It was not the Dukes. Totally been losing weight, down 3+ sizes. Awesome. Hey, Michael. Yeah. So with the Snickers, and I don't know if I mentioned it in the video or not, but I leave those in the freezer and I just pull them out. They're basically ready to eat right out of the freezer. And so you could do that if you use the coconut oil in there. That may or may not help you, but I mean, using the coconut oil and leaving it in the freezer works fine. But if you're trying to leave them out, they're not really. Even if you leave them in the fridge, they're not really like shelf stable like that. The candy bar manufacturers put all kind of stuff in there so they're shelf stable, and they're not. But yeah, I would just freeze them, and that'll work fine. Jennifer, making your squash casserole this Sunday. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Mix it up, people. That's right. Bumped up my protein. My body appreciates me doing it. Lost more weight. Yep. And, yeah, and that's my advice in the group a lot. If something's not working, if you're higher fat, lower protein, up the protein, lower the fat, vice versa. Up the fat, lower the protein in some cases. Mix it up. September 2024, cholesterol 264. Doctor put me on low carb, no snacks. That is awesome. First of all, it's your doctor puts you on low carb and no snacks. December 24, lost about 20 pounds. As of now, lost 31 pounds. Thank you for all you do. And I'm so glad I can help. Notice eating keto, my body will allow me 1,200 calories for about 2-3 days. But then wants to eat about 1,700 to 2,000 calories every 3-4 days. And I just do it, but I try to stay on the keto. You're probably still staying on the keto as long as you're keeping your carbs low. But your body is the best judge of what you need to do. Listen to it. And if you're if you're hungry, eat a little bit, and that just mix it up, like somebody said. It may be a good T-shirt. Do you know a good clean deodorant people can use if they need to? Yes, I would just recommend anything without aluminum. I don't use an aluminum deodorant. Sometimes I'll get the Arm& Hammer kind. Old Spice has got one without aluminum. You know, a deodorant, if it's a good deodorant, it's not going to have the best ingredients in it. You know, I remember way back in the in the herbalism days, there were salt blocks that people would use, and it didn't work. I can tell you that much. Maybe it works better on keto or low carb, but uh, I would just look for anything without aluminum and just kind of check it out and see what works best for you. But there's a lot of brands out there now. People are realizing aluminum is not the best thing for you. So, Sherry, you were close there. Kathy, I appreciate you being here. Been on keto for about 3 years, lost about 150 pounds. Now I'm at a standstill. What can I do to lose the last 60 pounds? Karen, I would need to know a little bit more. What are you doing? How many meals are you eating a day? Are you doing any kind of processed keto foods? If you're in the private Facebook group or message me on Facebook, then I can probably answer that a little bit better for you. I know when I keep my carbs low, I don't have hot flashes. Menopause hot flashes can be very annoying, I have heard. I'm actually talking to somebody that's going to come on one of these lives to talk more about women's health and especially menopause, postmenopause, and perimenopause. So kind of excited about that, but that'll be at some point soon. So. No, it wasn't that one. Need to meet up with you and the rest of the community. Love all the content, input, recipes, and support from you and all the others. It includes you, Chris. See, I'm hoping one day we can do that. Hey, Karen, I'm gonna make you a moderator in here too, if you don't mind, so you can handle that. I'm so behind on the comments, I had no idea. Let's see. Y'all bear with me 1 second here. Let's see. Oh, it looks like Dustin got it. So thank you, Dustin. What in the world, man? Guess I got a bigger fan like Stan. If y'all are familiar with the Eminem song. Let's see. Good advice there, Dustin. Yep, Angel, that does do it. And Carrie, thank you so much for hitting that like button. Go. Squash casserole is excellent. Thank you so much. There you go. Watching you and a few others, I have been able to drop 8 pounds, but the real accomplishment was getting A1C from 7 down to 6.3 and still going. Thank you. Well, that is awesome. There, low carb is the way to do it. Good advice there, Dustin. Hey, thank you so much. If you're still here, I appreciate you being here. Stressing the menopause when I was 46 after I had to have an appendectomy hysterectomy. So yeah, that'll be beneficial for you, I hope. One of these days we'll get a big meetup with all three of us. Yeah, we are planning that. So use baking soda to brush your teeth and cornstarch for deodorant. So don't use salt for deodorant because it ain't gonna work. All right, so nobody got the video yet on so I'm just going to do the giveaway on this. So the video with the story of Old Yeller was the biscuits and gravy video, one of my earliest and worst videos, but if you can get through it, then you will know the full story of the yellow bowl. So anyway, the first person that can tell me the name I call the yellow bowl right now, we're going to send this to you, this pre-workout. If you don't work out, it's a great coffee replacement. So, and it's got some mushrooms and some great beneficial ingredients in there. In fact, I'm going to read you what it's got in it here. Had to put it on my phone because, oh, there we go. Sherry, message me on Facebook, Instagram, whichever it is. Yeah, y'all all got it. Sherry was quick to the draw there, though. So you got it. But yeah, the ingredients in this, if y'all do work out, and working out's great for a lot of different things, but it's about 5% of the equation if you're talking about losing weight. So the first thing is to fix your diet. Your plate is 95% of it. 5% of it is maybe exercise, and don't try to burn off the calories on the treadmill. Do strength training. If you like walking, walk outside. Don't, the old hamster wheel is the worst. But anyway, so no carbs. You got magnesium, sodium, potassium. So you got some good electrolytes in here. L-citrulline, beet extract. Beet extract is great for blood pressure. And it's a standardized extract, so it doesn't have the carbs in it. You could drink beet juice was an old blood pressure remedy to get blood pressure down fast, but this is the extract that they take all the sugars out of, because beets is where a lot of sugar comes from now instead of sugar cane. So beta alanine, alpha GPC. Then your mushroom blends, you got cordyceps mushrooms, reishi mushrooms, king trumpet, shiitake, lion's mane, turkey tail, and lion's mane mushroom extract. And that's where your energy comes from in this. I was drinking some of this on one of my lives that I did a month or two ago, and it's great. So anyway, Sherry, make sure you message me over there, and I'll get that out to you. All right. So I also have one more. I have an Old Yeller, but mine is Blue Betty. So I'm going to give away this other one. Let's see. I want to go through this comment. Good group. People in real life think I'm nuts to do keto. And the fact is, they're going to, because that's not what they hear, in the mainstream media. Even though there's been more studies done about the keto diet as the best thing for weight loss, the best thing for, epilepsy. I mean, there's just a ton of studies out there about the keto diet and the benefits, not only for weight loss, but for reversing health conditions. There's just so much out there. Who makes money on that? You know, I know a lot of these big food companies are trying to get in the keto game with these crappy ingredient, easy, ready to go processed foods. Just think of keto. This is the building blocks. And listen, like I say, I'm not perfect. I do some of those processed foods. If I'm on the go, I'll get Quest bars. I'll get different things. But what you put in your body is the building blocks for your health. So are the processed foods the greatest thing for you? They're the greatest thing for the companies that make them, and hope you and hope you eat them. They're not the best thing for you. That's why most of my recipes are going to use whole food ingredients. Um, I make them easy. They're easy to put together. Anybody can make my recipes. And I've said from the beginning, if I can make these things, you can make these things, even if you're brand new. And that's why I do put a little more time in those videos and maybe over explain some stuff. But I want somebody, if this is their first time cooking something, they want to do keto, I want them to be able to grab a recipe, go in the kitchen and be able to make it. And it tastes good and be a good recipe. That's, and I have fun doing it. So, but people will think you're nuts. I spill yellow because you, yeah, that's right. It is old yeller. But yeah, Amy, anyway, yeah, that's why, one of my keys to success on keto is finding a support group. That's why I've got my private Facebook group. That's why Chris has got the band members group, which I'm in. Dustin's in that also. I'm not in it as much as I'm in my Facebook group because, I don't have as much time to do it, but Chris is in there all the time. So, and it's just, you got to have a community around you to support you, or, you're going to go in the office and everybody's eating donuts and, it's easy to grab a donut and go right into it. But, is how important your health is to you, and having a great support group so that if you do mess up or something, you got people that'll be on your side, and we're all here for you. So keep up the good work. Sounds like Sherry's going to be banned from my contest. She won something from Chris too. No, that's awesome. That's good. I'm not a fast typer. All right, so Sherry, you're out on this next giveaway since she already won. So there's no such thing as a coffee alternative. Hey, I like coffee too, but sometimes, like at night, I don't want the caffeine to keep me up, and so, oh, sorry about that. Power just blinked. I'm glad I didn't go off. Hopefully, but yeah. So it's nice to have something that can kind of perk you up a little bit without keeping you up at night too. But yeah, I'm a coffee drinker myself. I just do black coffee in the morning. I don't do the MCT oil or anything like that, or butter. There's really no benefit to it, in my opinion, especially if you're intermittent fasting. Now, if you're doing 3 meals a day and you're trying to get to doing 2 a day, and doing some intermittent fasting in the morning, then I think there is a good benefit to doing some butter coffee in the morning, because it'll help get you through to that next time. But once you get to where you're doing just a couple meals a day and you're doing some intermittent fasting, then I wouldn't do the MCT oil anyway. I think it's a waste. If you're going to do anything, get some coconut oil, throw in there. Butter, even better. Yep, you are dead on with that. Yep. Sherry says, for those who don't know, I've been eating this way for 20 years. I eat more meat now since following all these amazing keto carnivore chefs, and the bonus is they're the best people. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Don, there she is. The one day you ain't here, Donna, we had some craziness going on. So, but no, I'm glad you're here, and let me know down here about your daughter. What happened? So yeah, Dustin and Chris had to regulate tonight because you weren't in here. But no, I'm glad you got to do that. Was way more important than what we got going on here. That only happens one time. I'll be on here hopefully a lot of Thursdays. So, yeah, mushroom coffee is great. It gives you some good energy, especially when it's mixed with coffee. That's a good thing to mix it with. Oh, there we go. Hey, y'all all congratulate Donna right here. Alumni. That is awesome. All right, so one more giveaway here. And then I want to go into some comments because I love doing that. So this is the recovery. So basically what this is the after workout drink. And let me just read these ingredients real quick. So this has got all electrolytes, magnesium, sodium, potassium. Let's see, goji berry powder. So a lot of good superfoods in here as well. Lactobacillus. So you got a little bit of bacteria in there. Ooh, just got fuzzy. Hopefully y'all can still see there. Don't know what just happened. Whole tart cherry extract, goji berry powder, blueberry powder, Korean matcha, beet extract. So some great benefits. You know, like I said, even if you don't work out. So let's see, what should we do here? So the first person to tell me the video, other than Sherry, since Sherry's already won, first person to tell me the video with the loudest music that everybody hated gets this sent to you. So y'all tell me what that was. Loud music everybody wanted to complain about. One of the best recipes I've ever done, but something got messed up with the music on it. So thank you, Delilah. Just looks blurry on my end. Yeah, and if y'all haven't seen my El Ruderi yogurt video, y'all check that out. And I'll just go ahead and tell you, this Saturday, the video I have done that I have never seen anybody do before, I did a El Ruderi strawberry frozen yogurt. So it is awesome. Everybody is loving it in my family, and I had never seen it done before. I was looking for a frozen yogurt recipe just to try it, and nobody even had one for me to test out to see if I could improve on it. So, and Sherry remembers it. Come on. So what video was it? Y'all tell me what video it was. And I'm gonna send this. This. That's so funny because I got so many comments about that. It was crazy. And look, if y'all want to try any of these performance gains and you didn't win, I got it down in the description too. My coupon code's down in there. And let's see. So, Amy, that recipe I did with Instant Pot. If you got an Instant Pot, I don't know if you do or not. Oh, Barbara. Barbara is the winner. So Barbara, make sure you message me on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll get that sent over to you. All right, now I am going to attempt to go through some of these comments here if I can pull them up on the screen. So awesome, Barbara. So this is my first time trying this, so hopefully it's going to work. I want to read this one comment first before I get into all these crazy comments that I always like to do before I wrap up. I really want to read this in case y'all missed it. Let's see. Not going to work, is it? Well, I'll have to figure that out for next time, I guess. It says I'm sharing the screen, but I'm not sharing the screen. All right, well, I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to read these. So let me see if I can put. I'm going to try one more thing real quick for. I don't want to hold you up here, but let's see if I can do that. I cannot. So I'm just going to have to read this to you. I'll figure this out for next time because I really want to go through a lot of these comments. Let's see here. All right. Can y'all see that? Remove Barbara. Barbara's doing fine. Can y'all see that on the screen right now? Y'all let me know. Do you see a comment on there? There we go. There we go. I think that's working now. I just want to go through and read. I just want to go through and read a couple comments here. And this one is a great. I mean, if y'all didn't see this, another great video. Do you remember the comments I left you months ago per the Christmas cookies at my hunting cabin? How everyone was shocked. They were eating your low carb version I made. Well, one friend from the hunting trip who visited this week just blew me away. At 50, he was starting to have health issues. Per his type 2 diabetes, in December, he weighed about 250. I didn't recognize him yesterday at 210 pounds. He's lost a buttload of weight watching your videos and some other YouTube channels. His eyes were open after 1 month on a keto diet, plus 1 day a week on a carnivore diet and 3 to 4 days of intermittent fasting. He felt so good. He started walking 10,000 steps a day, lifting weights 3 days a week. The fat just fell off. He's no longer on metformin. His body is in total healing mode. His body's in total healing mode for all the trash he ate in his past. His mind is clear. He enjoys life. It was his birthday this week, so my wife made keto cupcakes and we had steaks. And then everyone went on a 4-mile walk. He says he felt reborn. It all started with a cookie. And that is what it's all about, y'all. These are those kind of stories that are so powerful. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's almost unbelievable to me that you know, these videos, these recipes can do so much good for so many people. All right, so now here are the comments of the week. Porky flavored dessert. You don't eat bacon for dessert. You just lost a viewer. I mean, like, okay, bye. You just got the blue ribbon for the worst excuse someone ever unsubscribed for. If you want to follow the recipe, it tastes nothing like pork rinds. I mean, come on. So here's from my veggie casserole recipe. Just because you live in the South and you eat a vegetable casserole does not make it Southern. It's vegetables. Everybody in the whole damn country has them. I'm 68, grew up in Oregon, lived on this because my dad had one of the biggest gardens in town. We had everything in the casserole, and my mom made cream mushroom soup on her own, put it in there. Please assume that everybody doesn't follow the South when we eat because we don't even know what you're doing because we don't care. So, of course, my smart ass kicked in. I actually traveled from Mexico up to us, and then we let you have it. You're welcome. My great grandfather gave your great grandfather the seeds when he came down south to learn how to garden. South donated the dirt to build Oregon. Sounds like you care a lot, actually, more than you should. Maybe eat some of the squash and it'll cure that anger. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. Y'all forgive me. Um, this is another one on that same video here. Very high macros. Won't lose any weight with this one on keto, especially eating half of it. That's why people don't lose weight on keto. Bottom line, too many calories. It's a casserole. It's a side dish. Why would you eat half of it? It's a side dish, not a full meal. So anyway, that and those are the comments of the week. Hey, I'm gonna get this thing down eventually. I did pretty good switching back and forth from some of those. So anyway, yeah, I don't add any sugar or sweetener to mine either. But you can. I did for the video, and I've done it. My wife likes it like that. The El Ruderi, a little bit of strawberry extract, a little bit of allulose, like I did in that video, and then this Saturday, that frozen yogurt, you got to try it. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing some of these comments. So just know if you leave a comment, you are open for roasting on here. I'm not even roasting. I'm just sharing the utter stupid comments that I get. After I made my first chocolate chip cookies, I knew I'd be okay on keto. Absolutely. It's just healthier versions, right? Donna, I'm glad you at least made it for that. So, yeah, absolutely. That's why, like I said earlier, that's why I don't put macros in there. Look, if you're needing to track stuff that close, then you need to take the time for your health to, get exactly the ingredients that you're getting, track your exact macros. I mean, plain and simple. If it's that important to track it that close, then you need to take the time to really track it that close and not believe what anybody else tells you about what the macros are. So, yep. Like the Backstreet Boys said, bye, bye, bye. Hey, you're making me hungry now. I already ate. I'm done eating for the night, so stop it. Bypass videos that are coconut, just put them on to give. Yes, thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. Yeah, coconut doesn't work for everybody. Almond flour doesn't work for everybody. But there's substitutions. I'm curious on coconut, if coconut extract bothers people with coconut allergies, because I haven't done enough research on that to know. Yes, for real. And I've asked people, I'm like, well, hey, yeah, let me show me the video on your channel where you did that, and let me see it. And crickets. So I don't know. Barbara, I hope you enjoy it. I think you will. It's been a hit. My mom is old school. My Nana was the best country cook, and we had the squash casserole with the Campbell soup and the whole 9 yards, and it was so good, and now so bad with with all the ingredients in there. And she even loved it. She was like, wow, I can't believe that, because I told her what all was in it, and she's like, I don't know, and she loved it. So I'm kind of slowly but surely breaking her into that. She loves Chris cooking Nashville's mashed potatoes too. So, Delilah, thank you, Delilah. Oh, Donna. Well, I would say it's cannibal, not carnivore, but yeah, won't be doing any of those. Won't be doing any of those videos, but that's a good question. That's funny. Yeah, some of the old videos are some of my best recipes. I'm gonna probably redo a lot of those, um, just because they're so painful to watch for me, and I'm sure everybody else too. So may end up redoing a lot of those older videos this year and next year. Yeah, and somebody made the suggestion too on like casserole to use asparagus, and so I'm gonna try that for sure next week when I need a casserole. I mean, that's exactly right. Once you kind of know, you know. You ate some of the keto chow ice cream. So yeah, y'all that won y'all that won these performance gains products, make sure you message me and let me know. Camera got all blurry again. What in the world? Um, y'all message me and let me know. And name, address, and I'll get those out to you. Yeah, I love coconut and I love coconut oil. Everybody can't have it. So, um, yeah, I feel like, well, they're alcohol based. So I'm pretty sure they're a real extract. Oh yeah, Jerry, that my meditation video. So years ago, um, I can't mention the name of it because um, it's actually trademarked. But I paid a lot of money and took the class to learn meditation. And meditation is one of the things in my life that has helped me, with clarity, with stress relief, especially owning businesses and, being in management for so many years and things like that. I mean, you're under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. And that's one of the things that really helped get me through it. Now, to me, prayer and meditation are two totally different things. Okay. Um, and I do pray. I am a Christian, so I'll just say that. If you're not, that's fine. Um, but I got a lot of people saying that the meditation is from the devil and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, well, I mean, I'm a Christian. I've been doing this on and off for 25 years now, and it's not the same thing. Um, so I did get a lot of pushback for it, but I wanted to clear that up. I mean, you can do both. It's even when I was learning, I mean, they told us, it's not a religious thing. It came from a religion, just like karate came from a religion, you know. But I mean, is karate bad? Um, just because it came out of something, there's dozens of examples of that, of things that originated from one place that have evolved into another place, and it's completely fine to do. Um, but I understand people have their beliefs, and I respect that. I didn't push back on that, but it's just um, that's to me that's an older school way of thinking that um, I don't agree with it, but I do respect everybody's religion. And if that's your opinion, great, that's your opinion. But I did get some pushback on that. But I just share things that are helpful to me. Um, and I know that it's helped at least a couple other people. One person that couldn't sleep at night started doing that every day, and going and just following my video every day, and it's helped them sleep at night. So there's mind body medicine is a powerful thing. That's something in the holistic health practitioner. When I got my certificate in that, well, it's really a degree overall, but anyway, but mind body medicine was a big thing, and now it's become a lot more mainstream. It used to be just kind of a hippy dippy thing, or whatever. But now studies have shown how powerful the mind is, and you can tell yourself, like, even with a keto and or a carnivore diet or whatever it is, if your mindset's not right, um, you're not going to succeed. So you got to get your mind right. And um, anyway, that's but yes, Jerry, to answer your question, um, I can drink these sugar-free drink mixes that are citrus flavored when it's not made with citrus. Oh yeah. uh, Struggling with liking the keto chow. I'm so picky. Um, there's some flavors. I think some flavors are just okay. I'm not a fan of all of them. but there's some of them I really love. So I think it's just a matter of finding out which ones you like. And some people don't like them at all. So, and that's fine too. Um, and like I say, I got the keto, the surprise box coming every month. And that's the best way to save money on keto chow. If you drink keto chow, you just don't know what you're getting. So I just said, well, I'm going to get this every month. I'm going to try to make a recipe with one of the packs that's in there every month and just see what I can do. But like I said, if you don't buy keto chow, you can just use whatever your favorite protein powder is. You may just add like the blueberry one, you would add your favorite, like a vanilla protein powder of whatever you use, and then just add in some blueberry extract if you want to. You can add in fresh blueberries, but the problem is you just have to use so many of them to get the flavor. The extracts work really well for that. Strawberry extract's the same way. You got to put a ton of strawberries into something to get the flavor, and then that may make it where it's not low carb anymore. So that's why I use the extracts in a lot of stuff. So awesome. Yeah, this may just be my computer just trying to save resources here. It just looks blurry on the screen to me. So yeah, if you got a bunch of keto chow packs but need recipes, I've got a playlist where I put all my keto chow videos. The first one I ever did, a lady, when they first came out with the snickerdoodle flavor, she's like, I really wanted, and she gave me, or maybe it was butterscotch. I can't remember. Anyway, there's a playlist on my channel if you go there with all my keto chow recipes. So, and then Keto Chow on their website's got a ton of recipes too. Chris has made some stuff with keto chow. Chris Cook in Nashville. He does some. So I'm sure a lot of the other people do too. Those blueberry ones are awesome. And I've got one coming Tuesday. I can't tell you what it is yet because it's a surprise. But it is awesome. My wife said that's one of her favorites. So let's see. Yep, absolutely, Barbara. Absolutely. Try beginner's yoga, and every single time I get halfway through it, and I fall asleep on the floor. Seriously. I did some. I don't know if you've ever done hot yoga or not, but I did some hot yoga classes one time. Whew, man, that is a workout. That's a combination of sauna, which now I just do the sauna. Well, I got a video on that coming out soon too because I found something I can recommend that's kind of affordable for most people that works well. But I just do that now instead of the hot yoga. So I'll probably get more into. I mean, recently I've just been kind of doing outside walking, some hiking, stuff like that. But I haven't been in the gym working out with weights in a while. But I'm probably gonna get back into it because I do enjoy that. But I'm skipping the treadmill. I can tell you that. Amy, yes, I appreciate it. It'll definitely help you. Let's see. The feet loaf. Yes, and that meatloaf recipe is awesome too. I'm probably going to redo that one for sure. Yeah, Donna's giving a bunch of recommendations on the keto chow. And I'm kind of with you on that. That chocolate malt is great. My favorite is probably that blueberry. I really love that. I love the chocolate toffee. Let's see. Delilah, I appreciate you. Appreciate you being here. And good night to you. I can't do saunas. I get sick if I get overheated. Okay, so, and I'll explain. This video is coming out next week too. And I'll just go ahead and tell y'all because you're here. Y'all feel like y'all are kind of my inner circle, my people, if you're watching me on these lives. So I've been using a sauna blanket for a long time, and I've had a couple different ones. And so the difference in an infrared sauna and a regular sauna, the regular sauna, whether it's a dry heat or a steam, it uses extremely high heat. I mean, you're talking 200, 220, 200, upwards of that even degrees. So the infrared uses heat waves that kind of penetrate into your body and allows you to. So like I do mine on 176 now, 176 degrees, but you can start and get benefits from it as low as about 120 degrees. And because of the way it works with the infrared, it's not heating from the outside. It's not heating you from the air or the outside in. It's heating from the inside out, because the infrared penetrates your body just like the sun. It's like, you're sitting outside on a cold day in your car and the sun rays are coming in and it's heating you up kind of slowly. So that's the way the infrared saunas work. But I've been in infrared saunas that are the wooden saunas, like the rooms. And, if you got the money to put one of those in your house, awesome. I don't have the, $5,000-6,000 to invest in one of those. I wish I did. If any, sauna companies that make those are listening, I'd be glad to take one and try it out for you. But I've been in those before, and just something about the last two blankets I've had did not feel the same. And so I got one from another company, and I'll have that in the video next week, because we're still working on things. I'm getting a discount code and everything like that for you. But it allows you to stay in. Like I can stay in, one of the steam saunas maybe for 20, 25 minutes. And that's not enough to get into the real benefits of it that really start about, you start burning calories about 30 minutes in. The first part is just relaxing until you get too hot, and then you just have to stop. You start burning calories about 30 minutes in, and then the real benefits come at about 45 minutes to an hour. And so I can do the infrared for, for an hour at 176 degrees, where there's no way I could stay in a sauna for that long. 20, 25 minutes, I got to get out, because it's just, it's too much. But anyway, I go into that in the video about these. I had a couple different blankets, and I've tested them for different things, and you'll just have to see it. But anyway, it's a great option. So anyway, I don't know how I got off on that rant, but anyway, about the sauna. The hot yoga. Anyway, see, I'm just rambling now, but anyway, that's coming out next week. The keto chow video is coming out next week, which is an awesome recipe. And again, if you don't use keto chow, you can use your favorite protein powder and just add in some extract. I tell you how to do it in the video. Ton of flavors, some come and go. They're standards. Honestly, I can't figure out what to do with savory flavors as much. Yeah, I haven't tried any of the savory ones because I don't know. Dustin and I were talking about that one day, and he's used some in some recipes before. And he, I think he was talking about the mashed potato that he used. And so anyway, he's kind of a fan of them. I haven't tried any yet, but maybe I will. So, yeah, this one's a pretty good price point for well, there's some cheap ones that I've tried, and there's, I don't know if you got a health savings account or a flexible spending account, but these so this one's about a $500 price point, and then minus a discount. But to me, for that versus $4,000 or $5,000, it's good. But you can use a flexible spending account or a health savings account with some of these better ones to help pay for it if you do that. If not, they got payment options too. But that one, to me, it's the best one I've ever tried. I'm not ever going to try another one. And I kind of share that with you in the video. And if you go to the website and look at it, you'll know why I like that one so much. So And y'all, this is a good way to end it right here. It was with this comment right here. Um, and this goes for so many things, not just meditation, not just food and diet even plays into this some. There's a lot of that involved these days. But don't care you or anybody else's race, creed, religion, beliefs, etc. Being a good, respectful person to all is all that matters. And y'all, I can't think of a better way to end than on that note. And got some good videos coming for you. And y'all see me over in the Facebook group, and I'll see you for a great video on Saturday. Some El Ruderai frozen yogurt. I hope y'all enjoy it. And if you don't want to make the El Ruderai yogurt, you can make it with whatever kind of yogurt you want to. So hope y'all have a good night, and I will see you soon.